All right, it's working. Yahoo! We have internet. We have connection. Hello. Oh my goodness. I have to say that hello. It is it is quite a morning. Okay, let me just tell you what has been my last 24 hours. Not even 24 hours, it's 12 hours. So I had an amazing, lovely Indian dinner last night. That was very exciting because um, I didn't expect that would be so great, and it was really, really good. Delicious Indian food. It's just very exciting to have Indian food. Oh, and my closet's open. Oh, um, so that happened, and then I came back and I had a class that started at 8 o'clock p.m. last night and was 8 hours long. So that meant it went until 4 in the morning this morning. And then it ran a little bit late. So it was like 4:10. And then I slept for like 30 minutes. And then I had to get up to do a call with my sister because she had a board meeting. I'm on her advisory board. So I joined that. And then um, talked with my sister for a bit. And then I just talked to Theo for a bit. And now I'm here. So yeah, I haven't slept in a while. Except for 30 minutes. But I'm still here for you. I'm here for you. And it's working. So I'm going to do what I was planning to do last week, and it didn't work, which was to do show and tell and share some fun things that I found. Because there's always fun things that I find, and I'm given fun things. Hey there, Jelly Bean. Yay, I was hoping that was you. Thank you for being here. Um, so yeah, I'm doing show and tell. So the first thing was this was something that I found in the grocery store, and I just thought it looked really cool, and I was like, okay, I'll get it. And then discovered new things about it. So this is it. It is a ruler, okay, but it's quite a big ruler. But then look at the back, so beautiful. There's all this writing, and I'm like, okay, I know this is going to be saying something profound here. So I just thought that was really cool. It has a little tassel on it. So, but the funny thing is that then, so I got it home. Let's see if it'll do this without it being reversed. Yeah. So it has centimeters, okay, on one side. That makes sense. And then on the other side, it has these numbers. And I was like, okay, they look like inches, but they're too big to be inches. What are they? And they have it that has like, the character. So it says, one and then this character, two and then that character. So then I did a translation for the character and it is an inch. So it's saying that these are inches. But I was like, okay, let me just maybe I'm misremembering myself, but this is 12. And I was like, okay, I know that that's not a foot. I might not know much, but I know that much. That's not a foot. So I ended up Googling it looking up Googling it, but I ended up looking it up. And 45 centimeters, which was 13 and a half of these inches. And I was like, what are these things? And it turns out that they are Chinese inches. And you say they're called sun, C-U-N. And yeah, they're like an ancient Chinese measurement. So, and the cool thing is that the way that they measured it is they would take the circumference of somebody's thumb, the wide part of the thumb. So I think it's this, pretty sure, because that's about right. I mean, couldn't be anything else. Yeah. So they say it's the wide part of the thumb. So I think it's this joint. And then that measurement is actually what they use in traditional Chinese medicine to determine how to find a person's pressure points and meridians. And so that's really cool because it's going to be relative to each person. So like this will be my soon, but then you're going to have your own soon, and that's how you would find your pressure points on your body. So anyway, and then the other fun thing is I was like, "Okay, well, what does all of this say?" Right? It's gotta be something profound. And I did this translation from this last week. Let me see if I can find it now. Um, and when I first did it, okay, I I, like, took a picture of the top, and I did a translation, and I did was going like that, and it wasn't making any sense, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's because you read it this way." And so, like, this is all one line, and then you have to go back and read all the other lines. So I was just taking, like, this part, and, of course, that's not gonna work. So then I had to go back and be like, "Okay, let me just translate the whole thing." And so then I got some translation. I and it made a lot more sense. So, let me see if I hope I still have it. Yeah, okay. Um, so here's a few of the snippets of wisdom from the back of my ruler. Mankind is born virtuous. The sex is similar and the habit is far from each other. Maybe that's not a good translation. If you don't teach, you can move. The way of teaching is precious. Meng's mother chooses the neighbor's virginity and does not learn to break the machine. Dao Yanshan has a righteous teaching, and the five sons are all famous. I would really like to know what this is trying to say. It's the Godfather's fond. The love of a teacher who is not strict is. n- Wait, oh, that's not. Oh, wait, maybe this. Hold on a second. Let me try this again. Let's go to here. Okay, I'm just going to skip down. I'm going to skip down. Silkworms spit silk bees to make honey. People who don't learn are not as good as things. Learn when you are young and walk when you are strong. Shang Jishun and Jia Shemen, show your parents with your reputation. In the past, I want to win in the future. I teach my son to be diligent and work hard, but it's useless. It is better to do your best. I the husband and the sky guard the night, the chicken, the morning. Don't learn, be thirsty to be a human. I tried. I tried. I don't think that my translator served me well on this one. I think I need more. Maybe this is more um ancient calligraphy. And speaking of ancient calligraphy, this was another thing that I was learned after last week actually. So I did my failed attempt last Saturday and then I did this on Sunday. Went on a hike with two lovely people, a student and her husband, and they took me to a little mountain nearby and went on this hike, which was lovely. And at the end of the hike, well, so we're walking up the mountain, and it's like quite lovely walk. And then we didn't go all the way up to the top of the mountain, but we turned and we walked down toward the river, and then that was really cool. And we kind of like walk along the river and like walked on the stones and crossed the river and like super fun. But then we had to get back up from the river. Like, oh, should have thought of that. So it was just stairs. It was just stairs. I wish I knew. I wish I knew how many stairs, but probably like 100, 150, 100 stairs. I don't know. They definitely went on for a very long time, and I had to take many breaks. But anyway, it was all worth it. It was beautiful. And, then afterwards, we went and we had a lemonade, which was lovely, and they knew that I liked, calligraphy and everything, and so they found this book, and it had these ancient, calligraphies. These are ancient Chinese calligraphies, and this is where the Chinese language came from. So, like, you can see here that, "Hey, Bloom. Hi. Oh, yeah, cool. I'm ready. I'm so excited for the color and sit." Um, so like that there's the ancient one, and then can you see the character next to it is the more modern version of what that word is. Um, and and so it was just so cool. I mean, I just loved this so much. I wish I was more of a scholar and I could like speak to these things. It was really fun talking with them because they could read these and say like what they were. Like, "Oh, that's one, and that's, you know, whatever." So she was like telling me what they mean, um, but I mean, it really is like it's like the hieroglyphics, like but the thing is that these are, like we think of like hieroglyphics and it's like, oh, that's just distant and past and gone. But in China, like these are the hieroglyphics, but they are still alive today. They're still used in their different form. They're just so beautiful. They're so artistic. So cool. Anyway, so that was a thing. Um, okay. So then one of the other gifts that I was given last week was this little guy, super cute. And but the thing is, so the student gave it to me, and then he was like, blah, blah, blah. He kept saying pointing to the button, like put it to my nose, and I was like, so I'm supposed to put my butt, you want me to smell the butt, and I'm like, it does seem to smell good, and it does, but I just think it's so funny that you know that's That's what they want you to do is smell the the butt of the little stuffy. And I mean, is it just me or like and then this is it's a rabbit. It's a rabbit. I don't know what you think it is, but it's not that. It's a rabbit. Okay? Come on now. I just yeah. So anyway, and it has like, some beans inside, and so you can kind of squeeze it and then it smells even better. So anyway, okay, so that's display number 2. And then all right, okay, we have display number 3, which is almost gone because it's been a week. So, I would have had more to share with you a week ago, but now they're almost gone. But these are special pastries from Shenzhen. You can only get them in Shenzhen, and my roommate brought them back for me, and they're really good. So there's literally one left. So it's like a Shenzhen donut, but it's like it's flaky. It's really, really flaky. Like it goes everywhere. And then inside is kind of like it's not a marzipan, but here, let me see. Let me just see if I can show you. Mm, 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 mm. Maybe maybe it is like a marzipan. I mean, it's kind of like an almond. Let me see. I don't want to I don't want to drip on my computer. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Oh, there we go. So it's like, yeah, it's really nice. The thing I like about these sweets that they're not too sweet. There are some things that are very sweet, but a lot of things here are like, even if you get like a juice or a tea or something like that, they're like not overly sweet. It's really nice. So, all right, that was display number 3. And then we have one more, maybe two more, because I can't remember if I already shared this other one. So this was another gift a student gave me. I don't know how I will carry these things all home, but or where even home is, that's still the question. But this is just this gorgeous fan with a stand. So I just have to open this up and share with you guys. Mm-mm-mm. Bloom, I was thinking about you when I was looking at all of this calligraphy because of the typography, you know what I mean? And not that, is that right? Graphic, um, look at this. And this also smells really good. I don't know. You see the pattern? So pretty. Ah, so gorgeous. You know, Fans are so underrated, right? I mean, I really don't think fans should ever go away. They are just the most beautiful, functional things. And they come in so many different styles and materials and they're just, women can use them, men can use them. They're, they're flexible like that. I think I think that we're smelling everything because it's an aroma, it's an aroma day today. Um, oh, I already put the fan away and I didn't display it right now. What is that when you go to the movie theater and you have like the smells? Aroma, what is it called? Aroma vision or something? Okay, I can't figure out how to get the thing in, guys. I'm like Bloom, by the way, I don't think you heard at the beginning, but I haven't had any sleep. I did a overnight class that started at 8 p.m. last night and went to 4 a.m. So, and then I got up and then I had a board meeting, advisory board meeting for my sister. That was, oh, there we go. That was at 5. No, that didn't work. Okay, well, okay, it's not going to go that way. I'm trying to put the, it probably goes in there somehow. It's probably not this complicated. Or maybe it slides in. Yeah. These are the things that I feel like, I feel um that there are things sometimes where like I'll get dinner or something. I'll get a drink. I'll get like a drink, like a milk tea or something. And I won't be able to figure out like how to get the straw in, you know? I can't tell you how many times that's happened. It's so funny. And then there'll also be times when I'll be in a taxi and I can't figure out how to open the door because they're just different. Things are different. It's good for staying humble, China. I would say it's very good for staying humble. Um, oh, hey, Bloom. Um, Julie Mead says you need a donut. I'll send some to you. I will send some to you. Um, and then what was my overnight class? Oh, it was actually a dementia certification class. So I'm practically a certified dementia practitioner, I think, CDP. Yeah, it was really good, but it was just this intense. I mean, it was like 8 hours of like really great information. Um, they did a really good job, but that's what that was. Trying to, bolster my resume a little bit and just kind of make the things that I know a little bit more um, official. Because like a lot of the things I know from doing them, but I don't have the degrees and the certifications and things like that. So, and I'm not going to be going back and getting like a master's in social work or anything like that at this point, but I thought I could do this. I could do a certification. So, okay, I guess what I needed to do was just precedent. Oh, oh, let me try. I think this is the closest approach. Is just press it together because I can't think of anything else. But is that right? Because then like I mean, okay, there's a slot in the thing and that looks like now that's something. But then you're supposed to put the fan on that? I'm so confused. These are the simple things that, and it's just really funny because then I'll be sitting here trying to figure this out, and somebody in China will be like, "See now, like how am I supposed to? Is it just for when it's closed, but or is it supposed to be for when it's open?" I don't know. Okay, this is the bottom. That's clearly the bottom, and and this is clearly the top. and it all goes together, and there's nothing else in the box. And so um, maybe it's just a stand for that when you're not using it. Okay, I'll have to ask my friend. It could be upside down. You wouldn't want to do that. So, well, anyway, beautiful fan that does smell very good. And that was my display number 5. Or number 4. No, number 5 is over there on the counter. Okay, one more thing, because I can't remember if I've already showed it to you or not. So apologies if this last one is a duplication. Oops, hold on. I think I might have already shown this, but it's so cool that I'll show it again. This was also a gift from a student. Oh yeah, I did show this because I dropped it, I remember. I'm gonna leave it in the box because the last time I took it out and I dropped it. So this is made with sand. So they like, isn't that beautiful? She made it. She made it. Mm. Hey. So it's a little pendant, so I can like pin it. So yeah, those are all my show and tells, I think, for today. Um, oh, I did get some red ink because I'm like fascinated now with this idea of like stone carving and stuff. So I had this one which I had purchased when I was by the Confucius temple. So Confucius, is the guy who is like the main philosopher, one of the main philosophers for um, a lot of things. You know, Confucius is a really wise guy, um, and so they had a lot of these stone carvings outside his temple. And this was even before because I want to learn how to do this myself, and that's one of my aspirations. But I I have a long way to go. But I did do at least some with this guy. See if I can show you. Oh yeah, here's the thing I did with I cut up my um delivery bag and I made this art. Isn't that cute? I was having fun. Oh yeah, so these are all of the ones from that stamp. And it means something, but I don't know what it means. I'm gonna say it's good fortune because why not? I can decide, right? I think it's also an ancient one. So actually I don't think there's really anything more I need to show you on that, except that this is the stamp pad. And this is not, there's fancier stamp pads too, with like, probably better ink. Like this is more a little bit lighter red ink. And so, I would really want to do the stone carvings that are, I mean, I would want to use the stone carvings with the ink that's like the deeper red that you see. So, okay, I don't know if y'all know what these are all used for. Maybe you do, but these are the signatures. So, um, every family and every monarch and every king and everybody, they would have their name, or if it's an artist, you would have your artist, your studio name or whatever, and you would have your own carving, and then that stamp would be used. That's your seal, and that's what you would use when you would stamp your documents, you would stamp your artwork, whatever. Um, that would be your official, make it official. And so I thought it would be cool to have a stamp for myself, you know, Bloom. It was this thing. These are the donuts I was sharing. This is from the Shenzhen pastry. I don't want to say on my computer. Shenzhen. Shenzhen is the big city that's like the big city that's like near to where I am. And the student brought this back for me to share, like the traditional pastry from Shenzhen. It is quite yummy. Um, yeah. So I don't know if you've ever done like stone carving or seal carving, or if you have ever used that kind of seal. Maybe you have, both of you being in the arts for so long, um, and working with metals and things like that. Maybe you have done something with, but I think it's cool because you can do the seal in different materials. So you can do it, the rich would do it in like jade and like really expensive materials. Most people would do it in stone so that it lasts a long time. But you can also do it in wood, or you could do it in soap, you know, or whatever. So you could always like do different things. Bloom says the stamp look cool. That's fun. I have one of those wax seal things, but I've never made one. I know. See, that's the thing. I think it would be so fun to make, right? Because like, I don't know. I've been watching this show, been into British TV has been my break time, and I've been watching BritBox. And the one I've been watching is Make It at Market. Have either of you ever seen that show? It's so good. It's just so nice and happy and like, low stress and encouraging because it's all about amateur makers who are invited into like a big tent to try to turn their passion for their craft into a business. Bloom, this would be right up your alley. And you too, Jolene. And so they have, and it's just, for one thing, I just love that there is a such TV show. You know what I mean? Like I think that kudos to the country of the UK for caring about craftspeople and helping craftspeople make money. Um, and but the host is the Dom. He's really cute and sweet, and he just cares so much about everyone. And then the craftspeople who come are all varieties. So there are like metal workers and stone workers and textile workers and artists and even bakers even and yeah and so they kind of come in and they have to do some volume pieces that they can make more quickly and sell at a cheaper price. And then they have to do a um, high profile or high market piece, whatever you call that, which is like, a higher priced item that might use more expensive materials and go for a higher price. And then they might do one of their favorite items. And then they changed it a little bit in the later ones. And then instead of the high price item, they do like a mentor's challenge. Um, and then they go away for a couple of months and they have kind of some homework and then they come back. And it's just really cool to see how they each evolve. Some of them come in and they're just already, you're like, you're awesome. Like right now, why do you even need help? And then some people come in and you're like, I really relate to this one. I relate to this artist. um, but then they go away and they apply a couple simple principles and advice and turn it into a business. And it really also emphasizes to me how valuable it is to have mentors, and have a person who's just a little bit further down the road than you come and look at your work and tell you what you can do better, you know? Just, you have too many things. Focus your line on three things. And or you don't have enough color. You have really good quality work. You're doing quality work, but you need to add more color, or you might want to introduce one other material, or you know, whatever. Or you could take what you're doing and you could apply it, in this way. And so, like, somebody was a sign painter, and and it's like, wow, is that even a thing still? People do that, and um, and they were like, you could take this and apply it to motorcycle helmets. And so she went to a motorcycle helmet convention, and like, like sometimes we need to focus, right? Sometimes we need to have that audience focus or the material focus, whatever. And then sometimes we need to expand. Sorry, my hair is falling now. Um, like some people come in and they're so junior and they're just starting out and they're like, okay, you've got your craft, you've got your skill now. Now you need to develop your brand or your personality and figure out what you want to do. And so anyway, yeah, it's really fun. So I think that that's kind of what inspired me about the stone carving. That's what the connection was there. So um yeah, I feel like there was another question, Bloom, that came up in your live, and you were like, oh, maybe Beth, you'll talk about that when you're on your live. And I can't remember if it was about the VPN or if it was about, I mean, the VPN is just a thing. I mean, it's um, for doing any of these Western things like YouTube, I have need a VPN. Pinterest, I need a VPN. LinkedIn, I need a VPN. ChatGPT, Claude, Google, um, Google Maps, you know, all these things need a VPN. So I mean, there are like obviously Chinese versions of these things that they have. But then if I go, like even LinkedIn, like has a Chinese, there's like, but it's in Chinese, so it doesn't help me. I need the English version. Um, it was the VPN and the weather, maybe. What sites can China see? Yeah, I don't really know what they can see because I never I can't use their stuff because it's all in Chinese, you know? And I couldn't test it right now because I would have to take it off the VPN to see, and then of course we would be disconnected. I mean, I guess like as you see, if I go to my phone, I do have many different Chinese apps. I mean, obviously they have like the Chinese TikTok version, which is Douyin. Um, and then they have their Red Note, right? Xiaohongshu. And then they have, as far as like social media stuff, and then of course they have WeChat or Weixin, um, which is like an everything platform. Like that's what you use to pay for things, and it's what you chat with, and you can also have share moments, which are like sharing, photos or whatever. And then you also have channels, although I haven't really used the channel yet, but I'm curious about that. Um, yeah. So yeah, I will say it's still a challenge for me even now. I mean, not that I would think I'm an expert after being here, but I still don't know the language, right? And so um it's still a challenge. I can get stuck if I'm not careful, like at least online, I can get stuck. Without the VPN, I can definitely get stuck. So, yeah. And then the weather, I mean, it is it's typhoon season, or there's a typhoon here, but it's not that bad right now. And yeah, where I am is quite lovely. I mean, I keep waiting for it to become inhospitable because I'm thinking it's summer and I'm in southern China and it's going to be really, really hot. And people say it's going to get really, really hot. But I mean, here we are. It's middle of July, and so far it's still quite nice. So I don't know. I mean, there's lots of trees here, and you don't know what a typhoon is exactly. True. I mean, I think it. Now you're making me wonder. I was gonna say it's like a hurricane. All right, let's look it up. What's a typhoon versus hurricane? Typhoon, a cyclone, and a hurricane. Oh, a hurricane and a typhoon are both regional names for tropical cyclones. So what's the difference? Okay, if it's above the North Atlantic, so if it's central North Pacific or eastern North Pacific oceans, Florida, Caribbean islands, Texas, Hawaii, etc., we call it a hurricane. If it hovers over the Northwest Pacific Ocean, usually East Asia, we call it a typhoon. So it's the same thing, it just depends where it is. Okay, I'm gonna read another one here. This is from NASA. So these are regional names for tropical cyclones. They're all alike in that they draw heat from warm water at the ocean surface to power horizontal rotating wind. Although similar in size, tropical cyclones have a different energy source than synoptic cyclones, which are storm systems that draw their energy from weather fronts and jet streams. Over the Atlantic and East Pacific, tropical cyclones are commonly called hurricanes, and the common term for a tropical cyclone that forms in the West Pacific is typhoon. Tropical cyclones are just called cyclones if they're in the Indian Ocean or near Australia. So, but that's so funny, isn't it? Like hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are like all the same thing. It just depends where they are. Which one sounds the scariest? Hurricane, typhoon, or cyclone? I feel like cyclone. Maybe because it reminds me of Cyclops. I don't know. It just sounds a little more ominous. I think hurricane sounds the nicest. It's like, hurry, hurricane, you know? I don't know. It sounds like it could be an ice cream flavor or something. And then typhoon is kind of in the middle. I mean, typhoon sounds a bit ominous too. It's like typhoon. Oh, typhoon. I don't know. So, yeah. All right, Bloom. I'm so excited to do coloring with you. Sip and color. And I can't print anything out, so I'll probably just have to do like a one of those neurographic ideas that Vesica was talking about. I don't know. I can make something up, I guess, but yeah. Um, Getting all of my coloring supplies out. Oh, that's the other thing I started watching. So now that I've watched all of the Make It at Market, the next one that I'm watching on BritBox is the one about the portrait artists. And again, this is just so cool. Like this is what they make their TV series about. I love it. And it's all amateur artists that come and then they have to paint live in 4 hours a portrait of an unknown sitter. They don't know who they're going to be painting or drawing or whatever. And they can use any medium. That's what made me think of it because there was somebody who does one with colored pencils. She does the whole portrait in colored pencils. um, yeah, and then they get picked. Somebody wins, and then they go to another city, and then somebody wins, and they go to another city, and somebody wins. That's the whole season, and then at the very end, all of those winners compete, and then the winner of that finale or whatever gets to paint an actual portrait of someone for the London gallery or something like that. So anyway, so I've been using my online time wisely, you know. I'm watching things that support my soul, not just with maybe an occasional little bit of like, Good Omens or, you know, some Spider-Man or something in there. You know what I mean? But in general, artistic, artistic. Yeah, if you have any suggestions, I'm also open. I also welcome suggestions. So, all right, y'all. Well, I know this was a little scattered, but it's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining. And yeah, I think next week I might actually be in Shenzhen when I do the live, so that will be fun. And I've tried again to do this with my phone, and it still doesn't work. I mean, it says I'm live and it says it's public, but then I check it and it wasn't public. So I still have to figure that out. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'm gonna see you in a little bit. I'm hoping you're having a nice Friday. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye.